So, Mr. Stamato,
Yes, Mr. Emery.
the next 3 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Not too big of a time frame here, so pretty short term. But what have we got coming up from a product development standpoint, and how will this, hopefully, next 3 to 6 months look from your perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I think right now our biggest focus is to get an MVP out and launched and in the hands of people. I think what that looks like for us in the very short term is to continue building our search feature. I think that that's the core thing that we're trying to validate with the MVP. And we'll be at MISA later this year, and that's in just over a month. So really pushing to get that out there and starting to get that feedback with a real solution that people are actually using as quickly as possible. And then I see the months to follow that, perhaps even beyond the 6 months, is once we have an MVP live, it's this constant pursuit and iteration towards trying to find product market fit. So yeah, it will really be about soaking up as much feedback and as much learning as possible from the launch of our MVP and from its usage, but also of the process of how we went about it as a team. What were some of the challenges? How might we do things differently if we were given the opportunity to do so? And that's really what I see over the next 3 to 6 months. It's priority number 1, get something out there. Priority number 2 is figure out why it's horrible and fix it. And just iteratively, right? Then from that point onwards, if we find product market fit, then we start thinking about, okay, how do we scale this? How do we keep making things more robust? Where do we want to go from here? But I think that those are all really fun problems that I really hope to get to solve one day.
Yeah.
If we play our cards right.
Good. And in terms of risks over the next 3 to 6 months, like what are the biggest risks for us right now, do you think?
I think that the biggest risk right now, and I think we've done a decent job at mitigating it, is for us to launch this and for people to just go, no, this is horrible. Doesn't solve a real problem. Just not interested whatsoever. I think that there's a lot of engineering resources that have gone into us building that MVP. And there's a ton of research that we've done recently in terms of trying to really validate this direction, right? And we've heard it time and time again throughout several different calls with several different clients that, yes, this is a problem. This particular area of focus around SharePoint and OneDrive, yes, that is where the biggest problem lies today for us. So I think we've done a decent job at mitigating that. But I think ultimately that's the biggest risk with building a product, right? Is that there's a disconnect between what our vision is based on the research that we're doing and what people are actually willing to pay for at the end of the day. So that's what I see as our biggest risk.
Nice. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. Cool. On to my questions for you. My questions come with a slightly longer time span, considering you're the CEO and you're much more well-seasoned and experienced. So, if you think of the next 12 to 36 months, so that's, 1 to 3 years from now, how do you think...
Good math, by the way.
Thank you. I definitely did it before and forgot as soon as I started talking. How do you think this next 1 to 3 years will be different from the last 12 to 48 months, right, since VivaCity's been founded?
Yeah, it's really tough question to answer because there's so many uncertainties, right? I'll give you what I hope to happen, right? I would say that we have this MVP being developed, right? And we have our consultancy business as well. I'd love to see both of those grow. Consultancy, we're doing some great work with our clients today, and I think there's a lot of room for growth there. Very excited about the MVP in VivaCitadel and how that will be launched, and then the feedback that we'll get. And we'll have to manage that feedback and make sure that we review it and adjust it and change the direction or pivot slightly if we need to. So I just hope over the next 6 months that those two things continue to grow. Beyond that, let's say we find product market fit, which I hope we do, then in 2024, now we can start scaling and, developing that product even further and launching it further. And at that point, I imagine we'll probably want to go and raise some capital, expand the team, and that will give us the resources in order to scale this rapidly and bring on the skills and resources we need to do to develop the product further, make it more sort of a fit for our clients, for example, and go from there. So I think in the next 12 months, I think that would be my hopeful plan. And then beyond that, I get so much pleasure and value out of growing the team and bringing awesome people on board. And I think if we can continue to do that and see success with our products and services, then the world's our oyster. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think it comes back to kind of making a difference. And if we can make a difference in Kamloops and be an organization that attracts talent to Thompson Rivers University, we pull those students in, we also bring others in from the industry to work here and live here. Like, why would that not be an awesome thing to achieve for the community and for ourselves? So, yeah, that would be my hope.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a really cool future to live in. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
The other question that I would like to ask you is, I suppose, going back to the team aspect and the type of people that we like to work with. The engineering team and I, we feel very involved in direction setting, right? We're out there making these decisions of, do we want to go here? Do we want to go there? Not only from a technical perspective, which happens also, but from a strategic company perspective. We have quarterly sessions, we have yearly sessions where all of us are sitting there, or have been so far. Why do you trust us? Are you nuts?
Secret, I don't trust you.
Yeah, no, but I'm just curious, from your perspective, like, obviously Vivacity is a serious venture and we're doing some really awesome work, but yeah, what's, the rationale from your side? Why trust us with so much independence and accountability, I guess, from such, early days?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we've done a good job of hiring awesome people. So that really helps in trusting opinions and, valuing that input, right?
Yeah.
You're all incredibly bright, very smart, eager, and so it makes it easy to go, yeah, I should definitely listen to these people because, they're smart. The other aspect is I don't have all the answers, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a lot of stuff, man. So I need to get that input from others. Well, the organization needs that input from others, right? And so having people at the table who can challenge, respectfully challenge where we're going, provide input into the direction. I see that as a huge bonus, and to make that decision and put it all on one person all the time, makes it a very, very lonely job. So I think it's valuable to bring others in for that process. And so far we've seen some really good success doing that way. So I know we why would we stop?
Yeah.
So I think there's probably like another 5 reasons behind this, but we only have a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's enough for now.
Yeah, definitely. This is all the questions I had. It's just been really cool. Thanks for sharing, and lots of good reflections to come from today. So
awesome. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers.